Alright, I think we're good. Just want to check up on a few other things, make sure that's all good for the evening. Excellent. Alright. Yeah, we're good. So, oh, Forge, how you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a hot second. Hope everything's okay with you. It's gonna be another small FNF, only about 80 people, so about platoon size versus platoon size. Nothing wrong with that. Still pretty significant, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't, because I forget, in all honesty, Forge. I've got way too many TMs to go through. But otherwise, this is what we got for the evening. I have no idea what it's going to be specifically, but we do have another autocannon fight. Though I don't think the autocannons are going to be that useful, because we saw it last week in round 2. But, yeah, no, the autocannons were nigh to useless because, Pepega and Scandi were put on the same team and they just annihilated everyone as usual. Now, I want to check the roster here. I see Pepega. So is Scandi going to be on the other side? Yeah, alright. So they're having them verse each other, which means they cancel each other out, which is good. Scandi have more numbers, but Pepega have the really, really scary people. You know, Arma Jesus, Guy Fieri. I saw Flux in there too. Oh boy. It should be good. Regardless, we'll see how things go. 1v1 of both groups. They did that in, whatchamacallit? Titans, FNF Titans. Scandi won after a comeback where... Are you freaking kidding me? I set that shit to loop and you don't freaking loop it. I swear to God. That's funny. Ah, man. Oh, well. Yeah, so Scandi Recon won, no. So Scandi Recon won the overall competition, but in the first time they fought, Pepega absolutely dominated them, which sent Scandi to the loser bracket, and then Scandi beat the loser bracket, and then they went one-on-one with Scandi, or with Pepega, excuse me, and then they won. But it was hectically close. So... on CQC, technically Scandi is the winner, but they both beat each other once. So, yeah. And the only reason Scandi bounced back was because they did a massive amount of training, and Pepega just meme around. It's the difference between skill and talent, in my opinion. Both sides have a lot of talent, but Pepega has more when it comes to CQC. Scandi have superior tactics, though, to Pepega. But both are very, very good at maneuvering, which is why when you're fighting them in forests or urban environments, you've already lost, in my opinion, unless you have a massive number advantage that really denies the ability for either side, but specifically Scandi, to flank, then you've already lost. You'll get one or two of them, but you've already lost. Griffin is a helicopter. Think like a bigger little bird, but not as big as a Hellcat. Why does Apex cost as much as base Arma 3? Probably because they've lowered the price so much, but that's an interesting question and a half. Regardless, This is going to be round 1, guys. Don, thanks for putting the poll up. Blue 4 spawning around the Chernogorsk region, can go north or south of the river. Op 4 going to be basically defending 3 objectives in Electro. These are going to be 3 ammo caches. I'm going to tab out real quick, just to make sure everything is good to go. Everything's looped properly. Excellent. So with that, don't get to see anything on either side. Titty. We'll go over numbers on the roster later, but let's see. Today, what do we have on the docket? We got Friday Night Fight. It's going to be covering all 3 rounds, and then we've got Warhammer 40K at 8 o'clock. That's going to be another hour and a half or 2-hour op, and then I'm going to play some DayZ for an hour or 2. Tomorrow morning, we've got a Last of Us style operation, followed by, I'm going to do more Subnautica with the shrimp suit. And then we have a 9 o'clock Zeus op as well. Sunday, I might do a Chinese weather balloon op in the morning. Still haven't finalized it yet. I'll have to tonight after the DayZ stream if I'm feeling up to it. And then we'll play with RT Columbia. And then the evenings, I'm debating whether or not we'll do more DayZ or Subnautica. We probably will. I might sneak in both. And then I'm just going to double down on video editing. I'm actually happy with myself. I've been getting back into the groove of it. It's just, you know, forcing myself to sit down and get it done. But I still have a lot to go. I've got a massive backlog that I've created. But when it's finished, I'll have a lot to upload. And then I also made a massive spiel last night because I've got to work on some indoor gardening stuff. But we'll get on that later. If you have access to my Discord, just go in the garden channel. You'll see what I'm talking about. But regardless, round 1 has started. We're at the Op 4 side to begin with. Briefing for this mission, all HE rounds have been removed from the vehicles, so basically no HE for any autocannon, so they only have the AP rounds. So it's basically anti-vehicle support or just a massive sniper rifle. Otherwise, game mode is Destroy. Basically, Blue 4 knows the location approximately of where 3 ammo caches are. Op 4, the defenders, know where the exact location is via these markers. We see them in the spectator mode. But Blue 4 has to find and destroy all 3 objectives within the 50-minute round. Excuse me, there's a 15-minute safe start on top of it. But with that, or, you know, one side will just wipe the entirety of the other side. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, looking at the rest of the variables here, 1,500 meters of render distance. That's because there's an aircraft in play. No magnified optics nor NVG equipment. Defender build points are 180, which is the default number is 125. So they've got like another 50 or 60 more. I don't know the exact number. I think 55, 60. I don't know. Yeah, it's 60. Gosh, I can't English. I can't math. Whatever. Blue 4 is medium anti-tank, and Echo is going to be a Moz. Op 4 is going to be an Igla. I already saw the Igla down there, so I know Op 4 has theirs. But otherwise, let's go ahead and look at Op 4 side. Op 4 going to be Russian modern EMR kits. Loadout's going to be AK-74s modernized, either with the UK or the Zentico optics, meaning they can take Eastern or Western optics of their choice. MP443 Garage is going to be the secondary. I'm not going to mention the AKS because no one ever takes the AKS. In the choice between that and AK-74. Support weapons, you got the LMG gunners and Alpha Bravo Charlie taking the RP key. Delta machine gunners get the PKP. Light anti-tanks going to be the RPG-7. Crew and aviation get a choice of the PP-2000 submachine gun or an AKS. Nothing on crew served weapons. Assets for these guys are going to be a BTR-80 Alpha, 2,000 rounds of 7.62x5.4, 6 smoke rounds, and 90 AP rounds. All right. BRDM with KPTV, BDR transport with the PKT turret that you got to turn out to use, which is honestly a death trap, and 2 static dishkas with 250 rounds total, 50 rounds across 5 magazines, which are also known as boxes. Otherwise, looking over at Op 4's roster, we got Curie commanding, Kabuki Face leading Alpha, Delta, Steve as the marksman for Alpha. I saw the D right there, and my brain went to Delta. We got Pierce taking the light machine gun and Alpha, Fonz taking the AT, and that appears to be it for Alpha. Wow, that's a small team. Depso leading Bravo. He's got Tymek, Seska Keeper, Polish Pepe, Stromimek, I'm not even going to try, Liru, Dewadox, and Leziak under him. Charlie being led by Nemesis for Scandi Recon with Azariah as the 2IC with a grenade launcher. Whiplash taking the marksman rifle, again SVD for Op 4. Charlie 1 being led by Nimia with Puma, Albert Q, Johnny, and Hurton under him. Cullis leading There is no leadership for Charlie 2, so it just defaults to Cullis as the machine gunner with Flying Fin with AT, Nafs with Grenadier weapon, and Dobbs as Demolition Specialist. Chai leading Delta with Patriot, Ghoster, Olaf, and Mutant under him. And then Echo, the AT team, which in this case an AA team, is going to be Lolo leading with Slushy as the AA gunner, and Reapers and Seismo as assistants. So they have 3 AA missiles total, so that helicopter should be toast, theoretically. And then you got a vehicle crew with Mackenzie and Sam in the BTR-80 Alpha because they're in the dedicated Gamma roles, and Audi is in Bravo 1, probably going to merge with the rest of Bravo in a second. Kenzie we saw do really well in OFCRA yesterday. We'll see if Mackenzie can keep it up. Otherwise, looking over to Blue 4, who have started in Chernaris here, or Chernogorsk, whatever. They have the Modern American Navy AOR camouflage kits breaking down the roster. You got your platoon lead, platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader, auto rifleman assistant, grenadier, grenadier IR. Grenadier IRs have Hunt IR grenades, 40mm camera grenades you fire in the air. Makes a camera with a parachute on it. Gives you a nice bird's eye view of the AO. Machine gunner assistant, combat engineer. They have the choice of 4 different types of ordnance. You have 2 explosive satchels or 4 explosive charges. Either of those you can throw, or 4 tripwire mines, 2 being HE, 2 being flare. Very deadly when you're not dealing with body armor. Or 3 AT mines. So those are the 4 choices overall. Light anti-tank, medium anti-tank, 1 assistant, 2 assistant don't matter anymore. RA, RAS, and SMP don't matter anymore. They're part of a group called X-Ray that's been defunct for over a year, but they're still in the roster for some reason. DMRs appear to be... I'm going to take a guess and say that's a Mark 11, but we'll see in a second. Crew lead, crewmen, pilots, medics, and the base kit. Otherwise, looking over at the actual stats for Blue 4, we've got their loadout's going to be Mod 1 Mark 18s, either with the base or a SOP mod stock. Glock 17s for the secondary. Light machine gunners through Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie are going to have the M249. Medium machine gunners in Delta are going to have the M240 Gulf. Light anti-tank's going to be single-shot disposable M136, also known as an AT4. And crew and aviation are going to have the choice between the MP7 submachine gun or the Mark 18. Mod 1, basically a carbine version with a shorter barrel. Assets for these guys are going to be the LAV-25. That's going to have 70 rounds and 1,200 rounds of the M240 for its coax, and 4 smokescreen rounds total. They got the Griffin with the dynamic loadout. It's got a laser designator. It's got miniguns, which aren't really going to be that effective. And then the pilot also has a 6.5 minigun. So let me take a look at that real quick. I want to see what's chambered in what. It's on the rooftop over here. So the pilot has 6.5 miniguns firing forward, only a single pylon of it, and then 2 side-mounted 7.62 by 51 NATO miniguns. So basically it's just a gunboat, which is going to get utterly smacked by the Igla unless it stays within super close range, but at that point the 80 Alpha is going to destroy it. So I'm going to be honest, unless they have a co-pilot for that thing's going to be nigh useless in this scenario because the Eagle is going to easily counter it. Thankfully, they do have a co-pilot with it, though. It's going to be Oddball and Schult flying it, which means they can just stay at the 1,500 meter range on the very tip of the render zone and just recon with the laser designator camera, which honestly is going to make this even more useful. But for as an actual gunboat, unless they can clarify that they've taken out the AA crew, and even the BTR-80 Alpha, because they got to fly slow to actually be effective with it, but it's... I get why they have it. It's interesting, it's fun, it's cool, but from a practical standpoint, that thing's going to be nigh useless. And if it isn't, that just means Op 4's dropping the freaking ball. Otherwise, other assets they're going to be working with here. You've got 2 transport Humvees, 4 Gaz Tigers, 2 M2 Humvees with the up-armored variants. They've got 800 rounds total, and then 2 transport trucks. Looking at the roster here, we've got Eric commanding. Haven't seen a lot of commanding from Eric. We'll see how he does. NASA leading Alpha, Kerrigan White as the 2IC, Ivno as the marksman. And that is a Mark 11. All right. So 7.62 by 51 NATO, 20 rounds. Not a battle rifle, more of a marksman rifle. Kermit being the medic for the group. Ash leading Alpha 1 with Bob Winchester, Tackleberry, Swola, Bluck, and Kazag under him. Norris leading Alpha 2 with Banks, Iqbal, Arcor, Harrington, and Wheaton under him. Rufy leading Bravo with Yano, Brecken, Cooper, Misfit, and Pijedu under him. No additional forces under Bravo. All right, so Charlie being led by Pro Hunter with Rodriguez, the marksman. Thompson being the medic. Charlie 1 being led by Aim at the Balls with Skeeta, Crazy, Frank 1, Mektum, and Otto Visky. Guy Fieri leading Delta. Keenan Artisan taking the machine gunner roles with Korvac as an assistant, Armageddon as a team lead, and no Delta 2. Interesting. So Gamma 1's got 4 members, Lusode, Cameron, Gogu, and Nerdin. What that might mean is we're having a dedicated vehicle crew for one of the M2 Humvees and a dedicated 2-man crew for the LAV, because I don't see why they would put 4 people into that vehicle. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Oddball and Schultz taking the gunship. Objectives overall are to basically hit Electro. That helicopter needs to take off immediately and just do reconnaissance on whatever route they're going to take. They don't have... Excuse me, hiccup. They don't have to do a direct flyby. All that helicopter needs to do is just fly, like, right here and just recon the main route. Yeah, Blue 4 can go around side routes, but I'm going to be honest. This is one of the very few objectives where there's only one real route to go into the AO. Yes, there's a crossing point here, but there's no crossing point back to Electro, so you don't want to be south of this town. You've got some hills over here. The only asset that might want to consider crossing is the LAV, so it can go at its maximum range of 1.5 clicks, which would give it sightlines of the entire town from these areas. So the LAV stays across and just provides support where it can, maybe coordinating with the helicopter, flying back here and just staying low. That way when a Igla round comes over, it can immediately duck the round. But yeah, if you just have the helicopter like right here and then duck down, then it should be fine. As long as they're using their Z key. But at the same time, to duck an Igla, all you got to do is literally just dive down, do a spin, and you're fine, because the Igla sucks. Igla, meanwhile, just needs to basically stay in the middle of the town and just constantly watch south and north, because there's not really any other place for that helicopter to go. If the helicopter's smart, they'll stay to the south, though, because the Igla crew is going to have a tough time actually crossing the river to take it out, forcing it to play defense. But the one real advantage Blue 4 has is putting the autocannon back here. Op 4 might even consider putting the autocannon back here too, because it will have good overwatch from here instead of being in the town and risking getting shot by short-range AT. That's fair, Falcon. Every time I've flown and I've been shot at by an Igla, I just dive and do a spin and then go sideways, and I don't even have to flare half the time, to be honest. Igla is the worst AA weapon I've ever had the unfortunate eyes to utilize, which is why when I bring one, I always try to pack as many rounds as I can, knowing that at least a third of them might hit. No, I just hear, what? And I just flip the damn thing. I was like, oh no, anyway. Nah, the Igla is, I would say, the most effective way to use it is to get just before its minimum range of a few hundred meters and launch the shot and give the pilot no time to react. However, if you time it too early, the pilot has time to react, and if you time it too late, the missile will just fire upwards because you lose the lock because the pilot gets too close. And that's just something you only get with practice. But regardless, let's see. Yeah, 40k things up, but anyway, speed up slightly. Yeah, shitty Soviet missile. Regardless, looking at the map here, we got 2 objectives to defend to the south and 1 to the north. Op 4 with only about a platoon-sized strength. I would play to that strength. This objective wouldn't really leave anything there. You could send the BRDM up this route early to stop a convoy from coming in, knowing full well that, you know, they're likely to come up here. What assets does Op 4 have again? They've got 2 types of BRDMs. So what they could do is they could send 1 BRDM with just a vehicle crew to come down the MSR and try to ambush whatever comes around here, and they could send another BRDM with a squad up this route and set up an ambush around Pusta, or just, you know, drive it forward and set up any sort of AT ambush to hit anything that comes down on Blue 4. And as soon as that KPTV BRDM reports that there's forces coming down that MSR, that group immediately turns around. I would honestly say, as a commander perspective, put all of your forces around those 2 objectives, maybe put a small team of forces around there, but focus on this AO because you have 2 objectives, and put your autocannon BTR-80 Alpha over here and just have it overwatch. I mean, especially like right here, it can flank all and cover all of that open territory and have a lot of room to basically bob and weave through this tree line. Granted, it's going to make it harder for it to find angles, but it's also going to make it really hard for Blue 4 to find it. And then just set up your static Dushkas in keyholes across this area. You can use the fortification tool, turn this into a nice bunker system as well. There's so many good ways you can play it on defense, but I don't know. And then Blue 4 literally just have to come down the MSR and slog it and coordinate with their heavy fire assets to basically shoot at any fortifications that are here, which Op4 should predict, which is why the BTR-80 Alpha should be to the south, and as soon as that LAV starts firing, that BTR-80 Alpha's one job is to snipe that LAV to basically stop it from being effective. Blue 4, because the limited numbers, should not do a force split. They should just keep everything going. Yes, there's a bunch of open fields to work with, but the only other way to really do this is to attack from the northeast, which means they'd have to send everything around on the northern side, dismount up here, and then just push. How they'd get there, though, is they'd have to go off-road right here, north of Pusta. But even then, no matter how you take Electro, there is going to be open field crossing, which is why you're going to need your support assets to cover you. Helicopter will be able to give you good reconnaissance, and then you need to act on that data in the field. Which is why the longer route might actually be a better idea as well, because it gives your helicopter more time to do recon, but Blue 4 is going to do balls to the wall, which I originally said it's just the best way to do it. Because there just is no good way to hit this AO, but at least if you go quick and fast, you give Op4 little time to deploy their forces. Now, Op4 right off the bat, we've got a defensive line right here fighting uphill. Not really the best idea because the units are going to have to crouch down to see all of that, but that's okay. Alpha over here on Overwatch, and then we got a Charlie 1. One of the BRDMs going out, but it's going... Alright. They're going to be completely committed to a completely ineffective angle. There is absolutely no reason they should be taking that road at all. Actually. That is the dumbest call I have ever seen. Who's commanding? Curie, I'm sorry to say it, buddy, but there's no reason to send them up there. If you want to lock down this area, you should have committed them on this SSR up here. Which, granted, someone's going to argue, well, we already see Blue 4 getting into AO. Yeah, it's because this is a flat freaking road. They'd have to go uphill over here and continue to go uphill. And the BRDM could have set up in Pusta before that happened. But again, with no early reconnaissance with the KPTV, you're going to look at this charge. No security on the MSR. Literally, people would say, well, it's because, you know, no one ever goes the main route. But that's because there's only 2 routes to get into this AO. So these guys are bait, as the rest of this force is going to go down to the south and try to deploy down here. This is a Pierce play, but it's going to work because no one has internal security. You're kidding me. This is why I said consolidate your objectives. Yes, it's good you got the BTR-80 there, but that's why you needed the damn... whatchamacallit, the KPTV BRDM to go down there to stop any rush play. So Pierce is part of Blue 4, I believe. You got a few scattered dismounts, but this is amazing. Blue 4 literally just said F it, Hail Mary, and they're actually pulling it off. Now, granted, Mutant's back here. He's killed 2 Blue 4 because you have some forces that have completely charged in and others that stayed way behind. So now Blue 4 risks being defeated in detail here. But they've got units right on top of multiple objectives. Is Charlie being ordered to pull back yet? It looks like they are. But Blue 4 has a bunch of forces out on the side, which is silly. But no, right off the bat, Blue 4 stands to gain 2 objectives. This could be one of the quickest FNF rounds we've seen in a while. Not the quickest, mind you. Quickest we saw was only a few minutes. Because the objectives were like right next to each other. Now you got Mutant crawling around. He hears that medical. He's going to kill Eric. We do have PJ over here with the explosives, so we could take the objective out. And then these 3, I don't know what they're doing. They do have AT. They could take out the final one. Don't know why they're going to that one instead, moving south. Now you got the 80 Alpha in play here.
Oh, you see that whole... Oh, have you seen that Humvee there? The Humvee along the shoreline, 288, and there's a grouping of infantry.
Oh, no.
Wait,
Oh, no. See, that's why the 80 Alpha is so effective. That's why that spot is so good. I would have fired at the infantry, though, because they were all grouped up. Because now that infantry is going to spook and move in. Those 3 are going to get that objective. These guys are going to bypass. Bravo's probably going to get back to that second objective in time. Slushy doing some great overwatch here. 1 kill up and 2 down. Because no one's committing into this building. I mean, it's obvious where the caches are. You just go to the black areas. Why is Charlie doing a far dismount up here? Oh my god, this is so bad. This is so freaking bad. All right, PJ is going to breach in there. That cache will be blown up in a few minutes. What did you... Oh my god, Tripwire Mine just took out the guys in here. Except for 1, so Bluck's going to need to get the AT.
I'm good, but fucking guys, I can think you're dead.
Destroy the cache. No one's coming down to stop him. This is... And then you got HP Mutant running a one-man war here. 6 kills because Blue 4's so broken apart. PJ setting up a charge on the cache, and now Blue 4 needs to commit everything over here, but Blue 4's numbers are getting cut the hell down. And things are pulling back. By the skin of Op4's teeth, they might be able to set up a final defense and still hold it with the BTR on Overwatch. But did that BTR score a few kills? It did not, so I don't know what killed the majority of Alpha. Cache blows up. But it wasn't effective because it was only a single charge, so PJ is going to have to set up another. Olaf running in. I don't know why Blue 4 only committed half of their force to the push. If you're going to do a rush like that, you have to commit your entire force. Because otherwise you're screwed because the first half's going to be defeated in detail. Second half on reserve isn't going to do anything. There's 1 cache destroyed. Waiting on to see this. I'm surprised Bluck didn't demo that one before the other one hit. He should just be mag dumping it at this point. Because you staying here, people are going to hear the explosions of the mines and know, so if anyone's coming to defend it, they would have been on you by now. You have an LMG right here. Just use that. I don't know what you're waiting on. What are you... Please tell me you set an explosive. Like, what are you waiting on? Destroy the cache. It's not a lone wolf rule if you're the only guy left alive because mines took your force out. It's so silly. Now you got the 50 cal Vic firing because these guys aren't... Shots are going over it. Heard multiple explosions over here. I think that took out a good chunk of Charlie's force that came in. They were in this building, and now I only see 4 of them. And you got Scandy getting behind this force. It's Papega that they're canceling out with, though. There's the mag dumping. Op4, I think, is going to be able to hold this. Because Blue 4 didn't commit their entire force to the rush, and Op4 was able to reposition on the final cache with their numbers. And that's what they needed to do in the first place, was just hold this area. So it works itself out, but it's really silly how this played out. And because Blue 4 didn't commit their entire force, they've got straggler forces out here that are getting caught by the Op4 forces out here. It's a dumb plan on both sides. And that's why That's why Op4 is going to win this. Because Blue 4 really dropped the damn ball here. And neglected to commit. Oh no. Purton's got the mag in. But Guy Fieri still gets the headshot with the handgun. Ooh, Artisan's gonna commit. Catch Cullis. He doesn't see him. How did you not see Cullis?
I just killed 2 on the...
Artisan, my boy! Artisan, my boy! Now you got Korvac up here firing down at him. Hell, where's the LAV? Oh my god, the LAV's finally up here. And it's getting into a firefight. What's the helicopter doing? So the 80 Alpha disabled the LAV. They knew the 80 Alpha was over there because they took fire from it earlier, but I guess it wasn't properly called up. Op4 have a strong defense line here. Blue 4 only have a handful of forces. There's the AA launch. Still gets the tail hit because the pilot didn't turn in time. Tail rotor's out. Waiting for that reload. That was Slushy's shot, so should immediately have a second shot loaded in there ready to go. Locking on. At that angle, it's probably going to hit the drum. Angle lost, but that's going to be out of commission. And Blue 4 are down to... I want to say Op4 is a 2-to-1 number advantage on them at this point. I mean, just look at the skull counts. Yeah. No surprise. If Blue 4 fully committed to that rush, they would have won. But they didn't. And that was probably because some of the squad commanders disagreed with Blue 4's strategy and said, no, we're not going to rush in because that's stupid. And that cost them the game. That, honest to God, cost them the game. Because ever since Pierce did that rush the other time and it went horribly because he completely miscalculated, everyone has a taboo against rushes. But this AO was perfect for a rush. Because even all they needed to do to stop the second AA missile going in, that's a hit. She's going to go down. Yep, right into the trees. Target destroyed. Helicopter reduced speed and then started going into a death spin. Banks right here just chilling, I guess. Op Force commander lagged out. Blue Force commander died. Yeah, so it's just up to local forces here, but Igla did its job. BTR-80 Alpha doing a great job. I mean, the LAV, how they could have countered the BRDM pushing down the MSR is just have the LAV on point and then shoot the shit out of it with the main gun. But at least that would have given Op4 the intel that that force was coming down, hearing, oh shit, they're coming, and then nothing else. Banks getting machine gunned. And going underwater. So I'd be really curious if Blue... I want to ask maybe Guy Fieri, the people in Papega, and just say, hey, like, what happened? Because I have a feeling some people did a farther dismount because they didn't want to do the charge-in. Because from a tactical standpoint, again, it makes no sense to charge in half of your force and then put another half of your force on Overwatch positions, but do it all at the same time so Overwatch isn't ready to cover the charge. If you're going to do a charge, you charge. And the charge is super effective if your enemy is going to overcommit on their defensive lines and just, you know, send forces out willy-nilly when they should be focusing on a tight internal defensive line. You know what I mean? Oh, Eric, you're the same Eric in there. I didn't notice you, buddy. My apologies. So yeah, no, I'm curious then. Pierce is gonna grenade him. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Classic freaking Pierce. We give him a lot of shit. But this man knows how to kill people with grenades. I would say out of everyone I see on FNF, Pierce is the only person that knows how to properly use grenades. Especially now that grenades aren't nerfed anymore, which granted it's been like that for a while, but you can use that, and if you know how to time your grenade, you can kill anyone with it. So Eric, can you type out what the plan was? Just out of curiosity. Because I'd love to hear your perspective, because my job isn't to berate anyone that makes the wrong call. My job is to say, all right, here's what happened, here's why it went wrong, here's how we can fix it for next time. Because don't get me wrong, I would have loved to see this rush work, and it would have worked too, and you would have been able to get this mission done in 5 minutes. It would have been amazing. But hey, next time. Always a next time, right? I would be up for seeing Pierce come back to command, because here's the thing. He was getting better. And I know, objectively, how could I say something like that? But I'm going to be honest, guys. Watching him week after week commanding, he was getting better. He just completely miscalculated a plan, and it cost him, and a bunch of people complained. But at the same time, how else are commanders supposed to learn if you don't let them continue to learn? You know what I mean? It's stupid. But hey, this ain't my community. I'm just commentating here. You know, I'm just... Great drop by Nas there, but... Thought Op4 would split Scandy to north. I wanted to push, but put a foot on the door, then improvised. I wanted Pepega in an Overwatch, and the steep hill was taking a lot of time. So you were correct, Arakiru. Scandy did go north. They went in with Charlie, because Scandy's Charlie, right? Yeah. They were in a BRDM, they took that road right there, and they picked a really obscure route to go out. So you had that right. You had that right. That's the crazy thing. But you just didn't commit. And you improvised last second. But I get it. You had the tactical knowledge, you had the proper guess. Yeah, and Kiri's the other commander here. So, by all means, trade strategies here, because I'm going to be honest, both of you made the wrong calls in the attack and defense of this, and now it's up to the squad leaders to fight it through. Op4 is going to get the W here, because Blue 4 have just lost everything because they committed half their force to a push. Other half went on Overwatch, but it wasn't in time because all of it was done at the same time. That defeated in detail Blue 4, and Op4 are just going to be able to hold because they were able to pull back to the final objective after they realized they lost 2 objectives within 5 minutes. So again... Could have been really cool, but now it just kind of devolved. But take this and get better. Now, let me also clarify with this. Let me watch these two guys get dropped by Gamma or survive. One of the two. A rush play only works when you only have, I want to say, 3 or less avenues of approach. And those avenues of approach are literally the road and this northern road right here. You can't really go through the forested area here because when you get there, it's all open death zone here, which even then you'd have to do from the side road anyway. A rush only works if you can get into the AO within a few minutes. Furthermore, a rush only works when the objectives are super stagnated, forcing a novice defender to pretty much divide his forces, which is what Kiri did. He sent one of his entire squads of his best troops up north, and only now they're looping back and helping, you know, with the final defense here. So a rush, again, only works if you have a limited amount of avenues to push into the AO. And then the objectives that you're fighting are super stagnated because I never see a commander properly consolidate forces anymore to hold objectives and leave one out to dry. They almost always put a vanguard force on it, and that just lowers their number advantage. But what almost always makes the attacker lose in objectives like these is they get defeated in detail. They only commit a third or half of their force when they should be committing their entire force because the other forces are just kept in reserve or they're put in positions where they are not able to do any proper Overwatch. And it costs them every single time. Literally over the past three or 4 weeks, it's been like that. The only exception has been when the objectives are so stagnated, which is what happened last week, round 1, I believe.
where there was one objective to hit. The attackers did a really great job, but the defenders just did the proper, held where they could, and then pulled forces back. And then the attacker made the mistake of going to the third objective instead of the second objective in order, and divided their forces, and that kind of screwed them. But so many little mistakes to be made. But we're seeing Blue 4 getting cut down. Blue 4, I think, is down to 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's a 6th up there. But yeah, 80 Alpha is now in play to cover Overwatch. But I will say, Eric, the smartest... Or no, it was Kiri. Here. Kiri, the smartest decision you made was putting the BTR-80 Alpha on Overwatch on the back line. So many areas for it to stay in tree cover, but it gives it perfect Overwatch of the Southern AOs, which you should have been focusing on in the first place because you only had about 40 people to work with. That was your smartest play. Because that stopped anyone from coming up the coast, and when they tried, BTR-80 Alpha shot at them. When the Humvees tried to come around, BTR-80 Alpha shot at them. When people tried swimming around, BTR-80 Alpha shot at them. That was your smartest call. Don't get me wrong, you made a few dumb calls too with sending... If you wanted to send Scandy Recon on the side route like that, you should have used the other route up here. Because that entire vehicle convoy would have been slowed down when they went uphill right here. So Scandy would have had time to set up in this town and listen for anything coming along. They could have sent, a small team up north also to listen, and then send another force over there to listen. Or had the BRDM act as its own element and look. So that one I get why you did it though, but that's also the mindset of just sending forces on very obscure routes on the side. But tactically, when you look at the contour lines and the terrain on elevation points, it's not needed. Miscalculated distance. It's fine. But again, that only comes with experience. So I implore you, keep commanding if you can, because you are getting better. Eric, you had a brilliant plan. You just didn't commit. Do it again. You'll get better. I mean, I've been watching Slushy over the past, I want to say, 4 or 5 weeks. She's been getting great at commanding. The only thing that screwed her last week was just that really, in my opinion, unfair AO. And then she made a tactical error of going ahead on a rush objective. You always want to do the rush objectives in order, otherwise you're just dividing your force, and you're going to screw yourself. But yeah, as Don says, practice makes perfect. But compared to other things I've seen you two do, you're definitely getting better. Because this could have been literally a 10-minute round. It would have been a great lesson in the fact that a rush play can still work. But this should also be a good lesson to Kiri of sometimes you just have to consolidate around 2 objectives, which would have been these 2. You could have had a squad watching that angle, a squad watching that angle, a squad watching this angle, and then something in reserve, Igla in the middle. You could have had an internal defense line in this building, which granted, a squad actually came in here and killed everything around here by getting in this building. Slushy got 3 kills just by going on a window and shooting people. There goes Devso getting another kill of a single straggler coming in. And then, 80 Alpha in the back. And as soon as that LAV starts firing at a fortified position, 80 Alpha engages. That helicopter was useless because it can just get eagled, and that's exactly what happened. So, that would have made... It wouldn't have denied the rush play, because the rush play... Great AT shot by Whiplash there. That would have at least gotten your foot in the door, but it would have been a slog. And now you're just watching any remaining infantry come in and get massacred. So, Kiri, I'm going to give you a quick lesson, and this goes forward for all commanders. Whatever works on Pierce does not work on anyone else. Pierce is a wild card, all right? You cannot take what you learn from commanding against Pierce and apply it to other commanders like Vagrant. Alright? Pierce is a very special commander, which is why I loved him commanding. I know people hated his command, but the man would come up with the craziest of strategies, and it would work. People literally had to make a special mindset for fighting Pierce.
Oh shit, you're alive.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
Get out and flip it now.
Igla him?
And dude, get some.
The Igla's not gonna work.
Never mind.
Oh, he finally died. That's it. That's GG. Blue 4 eliminated. He either bled out or the 50 cal just ran into him. Igla does not need a lock to fire. No, you can dummy fire that. And you can fire it at ground targets, but it does very minimal damage. It's like firing a GL round at something. It's not going to do much. Plus, there's the drop of the launch, so you have to accommodate for that at close range. So still a quick round, but again, could have been better. But only the first round. Let's see how the other ones go. All right, Lingor for our second round here. Let's go. Oh, you're alive, Bane. No, I'm not. Shh. Being alive's a myth. Let's see if Dawn cashes out the points. If she doesn't, then I will. Give me a few seconds because I'm going to start changing up my commands. So, let's see. Why is that not the case? Interesting. Oh, that's bullshit. So there's an option now that I can snooze ads for 5 minutes, but it has it grayed out. So I'm assuming that's for the people that take the ad plans of every hour they play 1, 2, or 3 minutes of ads. The only time I specifically play ads is in between rounds of FNF because I need the 3 minutes to change all my commands.
6 now.
That was Flowers funny.
Korvac, that was pretty funny, man, and we caught it all thanks to the 18-month resub. That gets you the GOAT Lance Corporal badge. Awesome. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. But regardless, I only play them in between FNF rounds or other PvP match rounds because it gives me some time to change out my commands for, you know, second round and third round and blah, blah, blah. But I was kind of hoping, ooh, does that mean I could permanently snooze the ads? Because I'm going to be honest, I feel like as a content creator on Twitch, if I advertise that I have no ads, where you get into my channel and there's no ad, you can just come on and instantly watch, I feel like people would flock to me. The only time, again, I play ads is during PvP rounds because I need the time. But, yeah, no, it doesn't let me. That would be so freaking nice. Because here's the deal. I only make like 20 bucks on ad revenue on Twitch. My main money on Twitch is the DayZ and Subnautica, the pay for pain. That's where I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a night, depending on the context. All right, that is my bread and butter right now, because YouTube is also fucking me right now. But I would love to purge the ads off of Twitch. Because here's the thing, Twitch, for my viewership of a few hundred people watching stream to stream, they're only offering me like 70 bucks to make all of you watch 3 minutes of ads every hour. They only want to give me 70 bucks for that. Meanwhile, if I literally just run the 3 minutes of ads in between FNF streams, I make like 30 to 40 bucks at times. When I used to do it heavily. Now I don't always do it because it's 20 bucks and people were saying it was annoying. So I don't always. But I also feel a bit ripped off there because they're offering me for every stream, every person that watches, I'm only making 70 bucks on 3 minutes of ads every hour. But when I was doing it every week on FNF, when FNF was more popular and I had 100, 150 people watching per stream, I was making at least 70% of that money, around, 50 bucks, 50, 60 even. So that means Twitch is intentionally screwing you if you're a content creator and you accept that deal, because it's better for you to just manually run the ads at that point, because Twitch's plan doesn't get you the money. They just give you a number and say screw you. They're lowballing you. So another reason why you shouldn't take that ad deal. No, it's not $70 an hour, it's $70 a month. Let me clarify, it's not $70 every time they run those 3 minutes of ads. You do not make $70. If they were doing that, every streamer would be doing that, buddy. Oh my god, $70 an hour to stream? That would be dope. No, it's $70 a month, dude. Oh, man. God, wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, let me write up my commands here. Uplink defense. Op 4 is attacking blue 4. God, if I was being paid 70 freaking bucks an hour to stream, that would be nice. Op 4 has... I saw another comment. I'll address it in a second. 8% numbers advantage. A BMP2 and 2 BRDMs. Wow, that's a lot. Hold on. Wait, is that a BMP2? What? Oh, autocannon. Yay! What does Blue 4 have? An M2 M113. That's it? You're fighting 5 armed vehicles and you're only getting a single M2. Interesting. What's the map? Lingor. I'm going to be really curious to see how this AO is balanced, because, well, I know you have Matt for the vehicles, but... Huh. I'm going to turn off my FNF brain for a second and say this objectively. I like this. I like this. Here's why I like this. This forces a reliance on Blue 4's Matt, because they do have a Carl Gustav, but the Carl Gustav only has 1 round per person instead of 2. So they have to have both assistants, but that means at most they can only take out 3 vehicles. That is very, very evil. Wow. All right, I'm going to say this too. I think FNF is having a change right now. I think there is something across the mission maker's mindset that is making change. Here is why. We've been seeing FNF numbers drop consistently over the past few months, and that's mainly been because of some administrative decisions that we've heard from players, such as stamina issues and all this other stuff. But now we're seeing autocannons coming into play. Now we're seeing massive amounts of vehicles on one side. I think there's a change coming. There's a change in ideology because they're trying to get numbers back, and I'm not opposed to that. And Bloodwing's next to me doing the floss. Yes, boo. I did not because I am streaming. Yaki Udon? I'll take Yaki Udon. I have no idea what it is. Yeah, I'll take anything, boo. Soup. I want soup. Good soup. Love you. All right.
1 second. All right, here, I gotta be right back 1 second. I have to make a call real quick.
Hello. Oh shit, that's a nice uniform you have.
Oh yeah, I like your uniform too.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so ready. I'm ready, man. You know what? That's I'm gonna whisper into your ear. Naval invasion.
No.
It's not in the way. It's not in the way. I'm not kidding. I'm never. I'm dead serious. Listen, BMPs, BDRM, put them like somewhere they can cover it. Send the boats in. You know, they'll never see it coming.
We have boats. Oh, we actually do. Do we? No, we do.
We do. 6.
Wow. That's cool.
But they're gonna spread out. They're gonna cover all the bridges. They're gonna cover all the choke points, and that's gonna be their weakness. We just choose one of them, and we all go there. I'm just a lowly medic.
If it isn't Vagrant, if it isn't Corporal Vagrant, if it isn't Corporal Vagrant, if it isn't Corporal Vagrant. Hello, Corporal Vagrant. How do you do?
Charlie, copy that. 10-4, sir.
Out. Nope, don't say anything. Don't say anything. You can't talk back there. Stay out. No. She's giving us the debrief. Giving us the debrief.
Commander Depso, requesting debrief. Commander Depso.
Lieutenant Depso requesting debrief.
Yeah, guys, did well. You can go home now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where's
Alright, guys. So here's the plan.
Wait, come back. Ah, fuck. Anyway. Hello, Nasa. Cześć.
Hello?
You don't have to know. No, you really don't. I have work to do,
think
so
it's
I'll talk to you later, boo.
That's
Yep.
I let the guys know that we're going home.
All right.
Now what?
Sorry about that. Had a little call to make. Anyway. Had to take another call. Yada-da. Anyway, I think Bloodwing heard some of that, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. I'll just strangle her later. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over round 2. This mission made by Banks after defeat in Colombia. Drug Baron Victor Ferendez and his army, OP4, have fled to destabilize the Valverde and a plan to establish a new base of operations there. Once they disable 3 communications arrays and eliminate the local police presence. All right, game mode here is going to be terminal hacking. There's 3 terminals in play here. The first terminal is 90 seconds. The other 2 terminals are 60 seconds. All right. Mission variables, 1 kilometer of render distance, no magnified optics nor NVG equipment. Defender fortify points are 125. Cool. Matte settings, it's only Blue 4 that has it. Op 4 doesn't have any. It's going to be the single M3 Maz with 1 shot per person. With 2 assistants total, it can be at a max 3 shots. We'll see that in a second. Blue 4, meanwhile, are your police Blue 4 camouflage kits. Nice. Loadout's going to be M16A4s or M4A1s. Secondary is going to be the Glock 17. M249 for the LMG for Alpha Bravo Charlie. Medium machine gunners get the M240 Golf. Those guys are in Delta. Light anti-tank's going to be M136 between Alpha Bravo Charlie. Then crew and aviation get a choice between the MP7 or the M4A1. There's a single 113 down there. Nothing on crew served weapons. Assets, it's a single M2 and 113 with 1,500 rounds total of 12.7. So they're going to honestly need it for what we're going to see. But otherwise, Blue 4. It's Lusode commanding. Pierce is going to be Alpha Squad leader. Deska Keeper as the medic. Alpha 1's got going to be Kabuki Face commanding with Andrewy, Fonz, Wise, Nerdin, and Cooper. Polish Pepe leading Alpha 2 with Lesiak, Deodox, Dizuak. Got their names twisted. Liru. I'm not even going to try to... I'm just going to call him SZ. I'll figure it out. And then you have Audi. Otherwise, Pro Hunter leading Charwa, Thompson, Roderick, Crazy, Frank, Mikatom, and Skita. And Azariah leading Delta with Dobbs and Asnimia, Puma, Hurton, and Cullis. And then Echo has Yanni gunning because Iander isn't here. So hopefully Yanni won't drop the ball. And they're staring at the Waman. Of course they are. Yeah, anyway, Nemesis commanding Echo, which is the AT team with Yanni, and then Whiplash and Finn, 2 assistants, so they're going to have 3 AT rounds total. Gogu and Cameron are going to be the vehicle crew with the M2 Humvee, and otherwise they're going to make a decisive plan. Op 4, meanwhile, starting on the northern side of this runaway, let's go ahead and look at their gear. For their uniform, we've got Private Army Generic Military Urban Camouflage. Nice. Loadout's going to be AK-74s, MP4 for 3 Gratches as their secondary. Light machine gunners and Alpha Bravo Charlie are going to get the, whatchamacallit, the RPK. Medium machine gunners and Delta are going to get the PKP. Light anti-tank's going to be the RPG, and then crew and aviation get a choice between the PV-2000 or the AKS. Nothing on crew served weapons. They have 4 transport. Those are just for show. They're not actually going to be used. 6 assault boats, 8 UAZs, 2 Dishka UAZs, 2 BRDMs with KPTV, all the ammo loaded, and a BMP with a cape. So it's just another BTR with tracks instead of wheels. That's cute. Even then, that's still pretty powerful. But regardless... You know, the quality of player greatly varies between community and community. Just saying. Anyway, Op 4's commander is going to be Mr. Despacito with Vagrant as the medic and Tymic as the 2IC. NASA leading Alpha with Ivno as the 2IC. Major Khan as the marksman. Marksman rifle them is going to be the SVD. They're also making... Don't even know what this is right here, but they're messing around. Kermit's going to be the group's medic. Bluck leading Alpha 1 with Kazag, Tackleberry, Kerrigan White, Wombat, Ander, and Otto Visky. Swola leading Alpha 2 with Ash, Eric, Banks, Arcor, and Wheaton. Chai leading Bravo with Olaf and Pshidu. And then Patriot leading Bravo 1 with Kiri, Seismo, Slushy Mutant, and Ghoster under him. Norris leading Bravo 2 with Kusera, Iqbal, Alexander, Harrington, and Chult under him. Guy Fury leading Charlie with Kane as the marksman and Beckian as the medic. Charlie 1 be led by Armajiza with Artisan, Korvac, Rufy, Misfit, Yano, and Flux. And then Gamma 1, which is going to probably be the dedicated BMP crew, is going to be Sand Reapers, Insanity, and Lolo. Excellent. Now, I need to check on Blue Force Marksman Rifle. That's going to be Steve, and it's going to be a Mark 11. All right, cool. Objectives are as follows. Terminal 1 is going to be right here at this prison complex. Terminal 1, if we recall, is going to be the one on the 90-second timer. So that one is the longest one to take. Terminal 2 is over at this barracks building here, and then Terminal 3 is all the way over here. This objective's been done before. This exact AO has been done before, actually. It's been like a year, but I actually remember this one. And I don't remember who won, but I know there was a lot of CQC fighting. Op4 did a massive drive around and assaulted from the south. It's been a hot second. Yeah, exactly. They attacked from the south. This might have been one where we did bro talk. That was funny, but... I mean, for this one, Blue 4 has two choices. They can either try to hold this mainland area, or they can try to hold the small island there. But between how stretched out their forces are and the enemy vehicles they're going with and fighting... I don't know. Tough call for defense. Offense, they can either literally just try to push through the bridges and have their vehicles overwatch, which is why they have so many, or they can try massive flank arounds and go amphibious with the BMP, or just completely drive around. Honestly, though, this AO leaves the ability for Blue 4 to just rush ahead with a 1-1. Actually, no, they can't because they only have the single 1-1-3, so Blue 4 doesn't have any ability to rush out and set up ambushes. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't really know what else to say there. All right, 1 second. Five minutes. How long did you put that prediction up for? You should always put the predictions for 15 minutes. You're right, actual, but this is FNF. Things to consider with that is that, how would I put it? Usually the attackers do a far dismount anyway, and are slow to move into the AO. This, for example, would not be a good AO to do a rush compared to the last AO, which a rush play would have been perfect. But since the defenders on Blue 4 have no real mobility other than the 1-1-3, and you can hear that thing literally a kilometer away. The question is, does Blue 4 try to set up an ambush and risk them being run and Op 4 coming in from a different angle? Or do they just stay purely on defense and try to maneuver forces into position where they can? And you see a lot of forces that have come over here, and it's Scandi over here too, which tells me Scandi's probably going to make a run for an AO and try to set up an ambush somewhere.
So, if I go down, who's Alpha 1 lead?
No, I'm going to get sauce here.
It's a tough call.
Alpha 1 lead takes over from me.
Oh yeah, I agree. Blue 4 is pretty much fixed here, which, granted, I would say gives the attackers an advantage, especially with all their vehicle assets and penetrating ammunition with the KPTVs, but... yeah, we'll see. First round was a big blunder, so we'll see how things go.
Correct, yes. Mine's all, if you want satchel charges, I'm okay with you guys taking satchel charges and, satcheling the ridges. Up to you. Whatever you think will help you most effectively destroy those vehicles. We'll also be digging in on the forward-facing slopes of Hill 65. If you want to...
Stop playing around with the boxes, bro. What else are they supposed to do? They're literally just waiting for their commanders to make a plan. Yeah, Falcon, I'm not gonna say it, but feel free to shout it down the mountains.
Okay, guys, you've got 1 minute. Organize your teams. Get ready to move out.
Because here's the thing, during safe start, here's what's going down. Your commander is making a plan with your squad leaders, and you as an infantryman are just gonna sit there for 15 minutes. Give them something to do to be amused, damn it. Let them have fun. Because that's another reason why some people don't return to FNF, is they get bored over the 3 rounds waiting for a combined total of 45 minutes doing nothing. Give them something to do. Let them play with the boxes. Literally, like, make a little play area for them. It beats them jumping around and doing the enhanced movement glitch and spinning off into the ocean, you know? This is not the pre-game lobby. No, it's the actual lobby just with the 15-minute safe start so sides can make plans. FNF mini game, a ball pit. Yes! Give them a ball pit. Give them a freaking ball pit. So look at this. They're pulling back as they're out of the zone. But this shows me they're going to run down and set up southern ambushes. Possibly thinking that, okay, this is what they did last time, so that'll be a repeat. But here's the interesting part. The attacker's going for something completely different, and I fully support it. So we're just going to have to see what everyone does. Oh, I know you did, Falcon. Sorry, Mr. Freebird. All right. Vehicles are going down. So OpCore is doing a pincer, which I hope to God is a pincer. It's probably going to turn into 2 separate attacks, and they're going to get defeated in detail again. But what else is new? I swear to God, we should call it Friday night. Friday night defeated in detail instead of Friday night fights. That's what it's really felt like the past few weeks on some rounds. But if they coordinate it properly, it'll be effective. Friday night, I'm not going to call it that. That's something that you don't do on a Twitch stream. Friday night attrition, that's another good one, yeah. Rats, I know. You'll have to take the horny elsewhere, I'm afraid. Are we actually seeing AT mines being set up? Because that would be dope. Then again, a vehicle's not going to come down here because there's a smoking wreck in the middle. So I love that he's setting up AT mines. But I don't think the vehicles would rush up on the road. They would just dismount and send the infantry up. But I like where Nerden's going. I like the use of AT mines. And now you got these forces back here, so they're going to set up on that bridge. And then these guys might run down and set up on another bridge over there, just taking a big walk. The question is, are the vehicles going to get there before the infantry? Oh, so they are going to wait. So the boats are going to wait in reserve. All right. All right, they're actually going to coordinate this one. I'm excited. Now, here's the thing. The vehicles, they don't need to go with the infantry. They can just do Overwatch from back here. Stay on this southern tippy tip and just shoot at stuff as long as the infantry stay on this area over here to be supported. Of course, are they going to do that? Probably not. The BRDMs might do it. If anything, the BRDM should be going with that convoy because they're wheeled and they'll have the same speed. Oh my, wow, both of them turned around in unison. Holy shit. That was actually kind of cool. Yeah, so your infantry vehicles committing well ahead of your armed supporting assets. Okay. That was a sexy turn, man. Rip, you crashed. Rip indeed. That's another thing that other PvP communities have down that FNF does not. If you crash in FNF, you're screwed for the round. Other communities, they have a reconnect system. I'd love to see FNF focus on getting something like that. And now you have this force holding, I'm assuming for the vehicle. What is that, 293,000 on Blue 4 or Op 4? So I don't know who made the poll and who set what. Blue 4? I'm going to be honest, I think Op 4 is a really good opportunity here. The one issue I have right off the bat is Blue 4 has properly countered any boat push by putting the 50 cal over here. That does mean that Op 4 is going to have very limited ways to counter the vehicle push, but
6 now.
Wiping an entire squad early on is going to be very beneficial here. Renreb giving Doo-Doo a sub after he crashed. Ooh. Sorry to hear that, buddy, but still hope you keep enjoying the operations and hope you get a nice kick out of the scenario. So I will say this, though, right off the bat, Op 4's level of coordination is giving me a good idea that they're going to be doing this properly. That was the medic on the command team that died. At this point, Blue 4 knows, since they haven't had a direct thing come in against them, they're either going for the coastal play or they're going for the outright flank. I'm going to be honest, I don't think Op 4 needed to be given this an extra room to maneuver. I think with these bridges and all the Overwatch elements they had, they could have done a bridge play, and it would have been fine. But that's okay. It gave the prediction extra time to run. Yeah, deja vu. It's literally the same exact attack strategy, just with a change-up of assets. I think it'll work. Because, look, they're putting their BMP-2 out here. And that BMP-2 can literally conduct Overwatch and reconnaissance for the route. Because the end of the map is right here. You know what I mean?
I want you to fortify the hill line you've been assigned.
Pierce commanding with his mustache. Alright, we're going to see another 5 minutes of maneuvering. Boats are still waiting around. We'll see how things go. There is potential for Op 4 to potentially hit this defensive line, annihilate it, smash through, and if they're able to do it with minimal casualties, I think they'll be able to sweep the rest of the AO fine, regardless of how the boat push goes. Because at that point, they'll be putting pressure on Terminal 3, and these forces will be forced to turn around. It just look at how stagnated Blue 4's lines are compared to how concentrated Op 4's elements are. Granted, I do like how Blue 4 is set up. It's just, once you start coming into contact, you need to immediately start reconsolidating forces. So let's say they get an attack wave over here. Regardless that this is up here, they need to immediately consider moving this stuff over. And is it the wrong play to make? Yes. The only reason that force should stay is if they get sightlines of that, but once they get a contact report, they should assume that everything's going in. Because that single 113 needs to be recommitted on defense to maximize its effectiveness. What kind of scares me here, though, and this is, I think, an Op 4 misplay, is that these boats are not dismounting and moving in on foot or on the side. This shows me they're actually going to charge in with boats. A rifleman could stop all of those boats. A machine gunner could effectively stop all of those boats. A single 200-round machine gun, like right here, bipoded, could literally destroy all those boats in one box. Because the rubber dinghies only take like 4 or 5 rounds of 5.56 before they sink. Now, PKP would struggle a bit because of the 100 rounds, unless they could get the perfect bipod and they time their shots, but it's still 4 to 5 shots. But a 200-round M249 Could make short work of those boats. Because it has a higher fire rate. Actually, does the 249 have a higher fire rate than the PKM or PKP? I'm going to rescind that statement, but the main factor I'm using is the fact that the M249 has double the ammo. So it can effectively spray. So Op 4 is now moving. So the question is, with Blue 4 divided like this, and the potential for Blue 4 to not immediately reassign forces because this force being used as bait, does the manpower and the vehicle assets here have the effectiveness to actually push and break through everything here? And that's where this could go either way. M249 does have a higher fire rate? All right, that's what I figured, but I couldn't remember off the top of my head, so I don't want to lie to you guys. What? Honey, I'm still going for another 2 hours. It's Friday. Yes. F&F goes from like 4 to 6:30, or 3 to 6:30. Huh? Not on Fridays, honey. When's the last time I've been free around 4:30 on a Friday? No? Guys, can someone look on the VOD for last Friday and tell me when we got off? Because we covered all 3 rounds. There's no way in hell we were done by 4:30. Well, yes, because OFCRA is a single round of an hour 30. Friday Night Fights is 3 rounds. I did get off. Well, shut up. Great. All right. To go off what she's saying, dog girls and peanut butter is a thing. But anyway. You're the one that made the statement! Op 4's dismounting, moving along the edge. Yeah, it definitely went for at least 2 hours. We were off around, yeah, between 5:30 and 6. It's 4... This is gonna suck, because now my stomach's rumbling, because I smell the food. But I don't like eating on... Falcon, I have 3 other people asking me to play that game. And I have way too much other stuff I'm doing right now. I'm sorry to say. The VOD's getting purged? No, we haven't crossed the line yet. Reason we purged one of the FNF VODs a few weeks ago was because we talked about some darker things, and we're not doing that again, Chief. It's just gonna get cold because of the fan. Sorry. I'll eat it between rounds. Just put it on the desk. You goober.
I put on autopilot because usually after work I like cook, and I forget that Friday I get off early.
You get off every other Friday, I know. So you jumped the gun on that, goober.
I'm sorry.
It looks delicious. I appreciate it. Please take a picture of it and send it to me. But you are a goober. No, she's not feeding me. Yeah, it's too hot right now, too, so she'd burn me and it would get everywhere. And soup on electronics doesn't really work. Now, granted, Op 4 is going to take their sweet-ass time here.
I can totally, like, get you little spoons after
No, it's okay, Boo. Go enjoy yours. Go enjoy yours. Why are your nipples erect? Go enjoy yours.
Women's nipples just get erect.
Yes, so does... Yes, okay, just go enjoy your soup. Do you need more peanut butter? That's still not the line.
Barely an incline.
No, believe it or not, we actually don't need to delete the VOD yet. I know where the lines are. Twitch doesn't like it when I talk about them, but yeah, we're good. Liru's opposite the line. Yeah, no, like, you'd be surprised. Fun fact, though, there was a male streamer banned for female something because he was dressed up like a girl and they banned him for it. It's kind of funny. Yeah. Or I don't know. That was funny. I don't know. Twitch staff are weird. Let me clarify on that. The Twitch staff that actually do all the coding, those guys are cool. They've actually come on the stream before. They're chill. The administrative staff that handle all the banning and community outreach and stuff, those are the weird ones. Because they don't ban you objectively. They ban you on their own personal emotion and agenda. It's sad. And it's very easy to tell. You just have to look at 5 different ban reports. But yeah, I mean, on that note, stereotypes exist for a reason, but not everyone fits the stereotype. We had a few Twitch staff, I want to say a year or 2 ago, that would watch for a while, and I would get like, when I first saw them, I freaked out a little bit, but then I realized, oh wait, no, you're part of the dev teams, you're fine. You don't handle the band stuff, you're cool. Nah, it's those other ones you want to watch out for. Unfortunately. Oh, they never did. See, they never did enforce them evenly. Hey, Han. Why are you watching Nekopara down here? You're researching. God damn it. Can you just make sure it's turned down so my mic doesn't pick it up? It's picking it up. What's she researching? She's playing Coconut for Katsucon, and we're part of a cosplay group, so I'm gonna be the one chef guy. I always forget his damn name. And there's I don't know how many girls are gonna be in it. I don't mind at this point. I'm just here to chill. All right, Polish Pepe here. He's spotted 5. All right, 5 girls. Anyway, Polish Pepe spotting the BRDM. What do you mean turn it down? No, shush. Shush, Malin. All right. Pierce just got shot in the face, except he didn't die. I call hacks. But anyway, this is literally a repeat of what happened last time. There was an initial defense line here. They held for a bit. They just about traded evenly. Great headshot right there.
Let's go wyprawać go. Czekaj.
He was a team leader too, because he had the radio.
Lesiak, wyciągniesz go?
So now they've got a boat that's dismounted. Second headshot. And now they're ready. Wait. Oh, no, those are enemy. Okay, good. Oh, he's running for it. That was King, yeah. Leave it to the King. Give the marksman rifle to a King and he will slay. Pepega on the offensive. I like that the boat teams are still staying on reserve. They're gonna get on recon. Blue 4 committing their forces away from the left side. They're gonna reinforce, which is what I predicted. But this defense line is gonna get lost very quickly. You got Op4 chucking grenades up here. Now you got the vehicle assets also on support. Real quick, where's the BMP? BMP has now moved up to Overwatch over there. Echo, the AT crew, is right there. Could potentially snipe the BMP. They're getting shot in the back as Op4 pushes. I remember the last time this happened, Blue 4 was able to still do a good chunk of damage against Op4 here. Now Op4 are just literally slaughtering this line. So, for the most part, Op4 have broken through the first line. A few forces retreated. You got another defensive line being put down right here. But basically, Blue 4 is just setting up picket lines, and Op4 is going to smash through it with the majority of their force. And then you're eventually going to have these boats coming at the last second. But look, Blue 4 has committed everything on defense on these lines over here. That's incredible. But that's exactly what Op4 wants, because now they're going to send these forces, and once they realize that all that's clear. But that's because Blue 4 genuinely thinks that Op4 doesn't have anything else because they're committing everything on this line, which I get, because it's really rare to see Op4 actually make a plan like that to send stuff around. Who's commanding? Yep, Depso played this one quite well. Oh god, Kane is ahead. Pierce is bandaging.
Warm welcome, shall we?
The Kane, will he be dethroned? He is not. Then you have a BRDM that just realized it's, yeah. Oh my god. Boat's still not on the move. They're waiting for the proper reconnaissance. But once they realize it's clear, they're going to charge right in. BMP firing across, hitting down this infantry section. The real panic is going to be once those boats come down and these guys are still fighting. Blue 4 is going to have to turn around because they have nothing on defense because they completely committed to this defensive line. I understand why they did it, but it's incredibly risky. Luceaude, I get why he did it. It's smart calls based off of the data he has. And I'm going to argue and say this is the right call to make. Because they don't have the Zeus, a Zeus or bird's eye view interface. They don't have perfect information. But it just goes to show how risky it is with everything going here. But look at this. These guys are going to get overwhelmed because they got two support assets coming with them. Pierce is on the rear. This is Scandi, though, so they could hold, but if they break through right there, it's over because the rest of Blue 4 is all the way down here. The new defensive line should have been like this instead because all of these forces are completely out of position, so I think that's where Luceaude made a mistake. He should have kept closer to the terminals because that at least gives you some security on potential outflanks. Op4 coming in on the commitment. Whiplash, I think, just dropped one. Throws a grenade to be sure. Guy Fury drops a member of Scandi. Vehicle's still waiting on reserve as they're gathering reconnaissance data. Because if they make a mistake and push those vehicles before they're ready, if there is something there, it will annihilate the vehicles. So that's why they're being incredibly cautious with it. I agree with those calls. Explosives going off. Guy Fury caught in a 1v1, and there goes the BRDM. That would have been hit by Yanni, who's now doing a quick reload. Guy Fury runs back after a grenade is thrown. Grenade goes up. Yanni's gonna run because he saw the grenade go past his visor, but he's getting surrounded at this point. Tries to get a flank on Arm, but Jesus, unable to. Boats are on the move. Blue 4 staying by the gas station, still staying out here, but over at this fight, they're also dominating. BRDM pushed up and is getting massacred here because the driver got out to try to do overwatch. Is that a monkey with a freaking? That's funny as hell. 113 is going to come up, but we still have this big chunk of Bravo on the southern side. North of that southernmost group, though. So, interestingly enough, Scandi held. It's 2v1 right now. Whiplash on 2, Yanni on 5. So it's going to have to rely on the boat rush to win the objective here, because I think there's not enough manpower for Op4 to continue this push between the force here and the force there. Whiplash tries getting a 1v1 with Flux, loses. Flux could still solo. And again, the reason Op4 is losing this manpower fight is because Blue 4 committed their entire force to this, which in turn made them lose all this manpower, but it looks like they're now turning forces around to get back into the objectives in time, but Op4 is going to be able to set things up. And I think they're doing this as a bit of a vanguard to make sure that forces didn't break through. Having CQC here. Slushy on 1. Op4 starting to breach this compound, take out a few Blue 4 that are stranded here. This is another element of Scandi. Looking up north, Flux and Yanni still haven't found each other. BMP's coming around. It's going to basically now assist this force coming in. There's the Terminal 1 hack. Now we might see Blue 4 turn forces around immediately, realizing that they've been punked there. Shy trying to get into a fight with Azariah here. Hack on Terminal 1 took 90 seconds. The other two will take 60. So you've got the remainder of the boat group running up here. They're popping smokes, maybe because Blue 4 started engaging them. Blue 4 still hasn't turned forces around over because they're still engaged with the other teams. So this could be GG. So basically the same AO as last time, but with a twist, and that twist is what won it for Op4 this time around. Norris spraying down whoever's still up here. So I don't know what happened back there, but it looks like there's wounded, so probably some grenade throws. Maybe Pierce was able to get around, or Nass was able to shoot at them from that second-story window. Patriot is up here, getting some grenade throw. No, it's a charge. Uh-oh. Killed one, knocked out another. Terminal 1 successfully hacked. Op were able to kill Wise in there. So Kabubi trying to hold. You got some Op4 coming around. Flux, I think, found Yanni and took him out because I don't see Yanni there anymore. Vehicle's now rushing back. I have no idea what Wombat's shooting at.
Shut the fuck up! I hate you!
What? Hardcore gets the kill. We just had 8C go up on this 113. Op4 moving over there. Flux can also move in on foot. We got some random suppression on that building. It's... yeah. This is over. Blue 4 only down to a handful of guys over here that are getting the CQC. This is GG. Dobbs gets a nice drop. And I think it's because Blue 4, they put way too many forces down the southern line. They should have recommitted the lines to be more closer to the objectives, because this meant that all their force was kind of out of position to move. And that's what cost them, essentially. There's the hack going. (113) rushing to the final objective to have a last stand. And the BMP immediately starts suppressing it. And kills the engine, disables the gun. Gogu's unconscious. And now can Camred's dead. Well. Yeah. Overall, great play by Op4. Blue 4, I saw where they were going, but they made that one mistake. That's it. Soup time. Gogu looks like he got out only to be shot to death. Good soup. There's the hack. Blue 4 only has one member of command left alive. And, well, I say that. Yeah. Op4 wins by elimination. Round 3 at 5 o'clock. That's some of the quickest we've ever seen. GG. So, I'm going to wait for a round to go. And after I set up all my commands, I'm going to, whatchamacallit? Eat my dinner. All right, Mountain 2035. Somalian Pirates won by rush. These rounds have been quick tonight, though, compared to other things in the past, so that's quite interesting to see overall. All right, hit that button. Round 3. What do we got? Op4, no, green 4 attacking blue 4. (10% numbers advantage). 2 BRDMs, 2 HMG Land Rovers. While Blue 4 has, I also added Green 4's MIA. Blue 4 has 3 113s. Alright. Cool. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and eat my soup, because, well, Bloodwind made it. So, with that in mind, if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to ask them, but I'm taking my food break. Sorry to eat on stream, I know some of you hate it, but we're in an intermission right now, so it can't be helped. And it would be criminal to let good soup go cold. Ah, good stuff. Can empathize with a fellow hungry fella. So we'll probably be done by like 6:15. Which makes this an earlier round of FNF. Otherwise, we're gonna have a Zeus op at trying to think. 8 o'clock will be the 40K operation. And then we'll do Daisy after. Hey, Bloodwind, can you come over here real quick? I have a question from a fan. I need to come see something. I'm sorry, they're asking if you've seen this anime and if you're willing to do a cosplay on it. I don't know if it's hentai or not. I'm gonna show you because you're the one that knows everything. They're asking about this one. It's good soup. Yeah. And then they're right there if you want to.
Oh, this is an old one, huh?
Old but gold. Which just ties to my fact of yes, you do know almost every one of them.
Well, I actually have never watched this one. I know of it.
Ah.
But I've never watched it, but it's super cute.
Alright. So I guess that's a no on cosplay then.
Well, because I just don't know it. I
That's entirely fair.
try to cosplay things I'm familiar with.
Of course, so you can get into character properly.
Yeah, which is why I am watching that.
Yes.
I want to be focused properly.
Just be your normal self, you dits. Making my dinner at 4 o'clock in the middle of my FNF stream. You didn't have to make me dinner at all, but you did, and you're proving my point. Oh, you're licking my nose now because you know I hate that. You're adorable.
If you want, here. I got it. Ready?
Mhm.
All right. I will take over Liru's stream for 5 minutes while he continues to eat. So,
Absolutely not.
questions in the chat, about anything. A character you think I'd cosplay, about Liru and I, about Liru specifically,
The
about
hell?
his inner secret.
What? No. You still want your birthday, right?
What is Liru's name? Liru?
Hell no. Thank you.
I think it was called Arya. I think that's the name
Yep.
of the series, yeah.
That shark's getting at.
Is Liru cute? Absolutely.
She's biased.
No, I genuinely think you're very handsome looking.
She's biased.
You can say that all the fuck you want. I think you're very handsome.
Every time a woman calls
Hey,
me cute,
Liru is
they're
Bloodwing
biased.
cute.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
You're biased.
See, I'm not. Because you have a wonderful personality and brilliant assets.
I'm saying. Hey, look, at least I look good as a coconut.
Look, here's the thing.
The stream can validate.
Here's the thing.
I
Even
look
if
good.
she wasn't cute, she can cosplay and make herself look cute. So it all works out. I don't have a bias, even if you think I do have a bias.
I don't have a bias either.
She can just make herself look however the hell she wants, which is kind of scary.
I have one of those faces.
Yeah. You can change anything.
I
It's
have one of
actually
those
really
faces
fucking
that's
weird.
very like you wouldn't think of it, but I have a very generic face.
And she can morph into anything. It's actually
Yeah.
kind of spooky when you think about it. Power of Greek intelligence, yeah.
Well, no one really recognizes me when it does me. Is
Yeah.
Bloodwing a super spy? Yes.
She, look, like, I'm actually being serious. She does have connections to the Greek embassy. It scares the shit out of me.
We don't talk about that. All you need to know is that you have a good option
Hey, look,
for
Liru,
fiancé.
this is the Greek ambassador. Oh yes, Bloodwing's spoken highly of you. What? What?
I don't think Bloodwing is bald. I'm unfortunately not bald.
She looks good with long hair.
Don, I don't have my phone. I'll look at it. You miss my long hair? 'Cause I have short hair.
I don't have anything to pull during doggy.
What advice would you give to someone based on your experience in a relationship?
Communication is key. If something's irking you, address it immediately. Don't let it fester over days or weeks.
It'll never be.
It'll never be perfect.
It'll
You'll
never
always
be
have fights.
perfect.
Hell, we had a
Yeah.
fight this morning.
But like, look. He's absolutely right. Communicate, right? Like if you
Never make assumptions.
If you
Oh
don't
my God, never make
know
assumptions.
what problems you have, how are you gonna solve them? Right?
Yep.
They're just gonna sit and fester and like suck, right? You're gonna hate each other and resent each other, and that's what implodes a relationship at one point. Number two, it's okay to like not be perfect all the time. Everyone has good days and bad days, and that reflects the relationship in different ways, right? Like sometimes your partner will have a bad day, and you know, like it's okay.
It's only a problem when they constantly have bad days. Then you should intervene.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you know, and then you know, make sure that you're okay first. Before
Yep.
everything else.
Focus on you first, and then.
How do you expect to build a house if the foundation is crap?
Yep.
Right. So how do you expect to have a relationship if your own emotional state is crap?
Also, fun fact: if you are not confident, happy with yourself, you're not going to be confident and happy in a relationship. We made that mistake, and then we just fixed it over time because you
And
know
we're
high
still
school
fixing
sweethearts, and we're yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
Well, it's
like-
much better than a year ago.
Like just some of that kind of stuff really is the key to all of it, you know? And just have fun with life. Don't be serious all the time, but don't be too like, you know.
Yeah, she's saying, you know, like smear peanut butter on your boyfriend's balls. It works out.
What kind of soup? I made a pork soup using like an instant packet from H1. It's pretty good. I think it's good. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Since high school, yeah, we've been together.
We've been together for over 9 years.
We're over our 9-year anniversary,
High school and college together.
and we are now engaged.
Yeah, I won the fist fight though.
Huh? I was just there, man. Any other questions? What you got? You got a pet shark?
Baby shark doo 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 doo. Baby shark doo 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 doo. Baby. See, we're in sync over this bullshit. So, you know,
I don't know how to describe it, but
I
like,
don't either.
I'll just be sitting there being weird, and he'll walk into the room and just like energy has been matched. They share like 3. No, I say like if anyone's old enough to understand this, with our powers combined, Liru and I make one functioning brain cell.
Or
One functioning adult.
I'll finish the soup after stream. All right, boo. I gotta get to work. Okay.
My parents were told that you do not have to love the same things your partner does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you know what? Like.
But you should still be supportive. For example,
Yeah.
I don't always enjoy cosplay or going to conventions, but I still do it to support her.
And I don't play Arma, but I still like.
She did play Arma once though, and it was awesome. But she's never gonna do it again because it gives her input overload.
I mean, granted, you should still have some stuff in common, right? The important
Yep.
stuff with your partner, like everything. But like, you don't need to be your partner.
Yep. And always remember, what you can't get out of your significant other, you can always get out of their sister. Anyway.
You go to cosplay conventions? Yeah. I drag Liru to cosplay conventions. It's the more appropriate term.
I pretend to be your security guard. It's really funny.
It's pretty cute.
I hold her umbrella.
We have a picture of Liru in a full suit.
Yep.
And him, like, basically with the sunglasses on, and I'm in cute cosplay.
Okay. Your GF doesn't have a sister? Well, that means any other girl you meet can be your sister. Anyway.
Well, no more Bloodwing ops. I may come on.
No, you'll still do Bloodwing ops, yes.
Shrimp.
That's going to be for Subnautica, though.
Coconut shrimp. Coconut
This
shrimp.
weekend will be an interesting Subnautica stream. But anyway, Boo, I have to focus on the... I have to focus on the last round, honey. Okay?
So if your partner is a guy, do you go after their brother?
It depends on your sexuality, dude. You can go after anyone. Anyone's fair game if you're on for it.
Very true.
All right, bye.
Bye. Tell Dante I'm after him again. Bye. He already knows. What?
Dante, if you're watching the stream, run.
All right, guys. Round 3. Let's see if it'll be quick. And if you want, if it goes quick, we'll grab Bloodwing again. We'll continue on. But anyway, yeah, why not? I don't mind. Q&A. Why not? All right. Last mission by Depso here. Operation 9-9 at Sector. Background, platoon-sized element gets trapped inside enemy territory, and they must prepare a last stand in the town of La Trinité. What did Don send you? Oh, yeah. Yeah. She sent me that, too. Yeah. Yeah, It's a picture from the office of the boss guy shaking the other boss, and the bigger boss is, like, really happy, and the other guy is, like, super confused. And it's the caption, the really old guy is the Greek ambassador, and then the guy confused is Liru. Yeah. 11 out of 10. Anyway. Let's get into the damn round, shall we? Game mode is Ad Sector, so how this game mode works is if the attackers get more people in the sector than the defenders at any time, a 90-second timer will start. It's either 60 or 90, they change it up, but if at any point the attacking faction loses the number advantage in the sector, then it resets the timer and only starts counting down again when the attackers have the number advantage in the sector. So if the defenders have 3 people in the sector and the attackers bring in 4, and it's held like that for 90 seconds, and the sector's taken. If there's no defenders in the sector and the attackers have 1 person enter it, it starts the timer, and, you know, we'll catch down anyway. Once sectors are taken, they cannot be recaptured. Otherwise, mission variables, render distance going to be 1,250 meters. Defender 4 to 5 points is 275, so that's over double of what we normally see in 125. Medium anti-tank settings are both sides have Mazes, 2 rounds per team. We'll see if they even have anything on Echo, because that is the Maz team. Neither side has an Echo, so it doesn't matter. All right, starting with Blue 4. Blue 4, your modern French Army CE camouflage kits. They're going to have FAMASs mainly, but breaking down the roster, you got your platoon lead, platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader, auto rifleman assistant, grenadier, grenadier IR. Grenadier IRs have the Hunt IR 40mm grenades. Fire in the air, makes a camera, parachute down, gives a nice bird's eye view of the AO. Machine gunner assistant, combat engineer, which have the choice of the following 4 types of ordnance: 4 tripwire mines, 2 beam HE, 2 beam flares, 3 AT mines, 2 explosive charges, or 4 explosive 4 explosive charges or 2 explosive satchels. Satchels are bigger. The satchels and charges can also be turned to throwables as well. You got light anti-tank, medium anti-tank 1 and 2 and assistants. RI, RS, and SMP don't matter because they don't exist anymore. DMRs, Blue 4, that's going to be a Scar H. Crew lead, crewmen, pilots, medics, and the base kits. Loadout for these guys are going to be FAMASs or HK-416s. It is their choice. Glock 17s for their handguns, mini-me's for the Alpha Bravo Charlie machine gunners, well, technically light machine gunners, also known as auto riflemen. Medium machine gunners in Delta get the FN mag, and then light anti-tank's going to be the M136. Crew and aviators get a choice between the MP5 or an HK-416 with a 10-inch barrel. 3 assets for them are going to be 3 M2 Humvees. They're the defending force, right? Yeah, so not a bad choice with that. You can get a lot of defense with the those assets there, but that is fine. Looking over at Blue 4's roster, we have Slushy commanding the defense here, Shy being Alpha's lead, Curie being the marksman, Lolo being the medic, Patriot leading Alpha 1 with Sam, Reapers and Sandy, Mutants, Olaf, Seasmo, and Ghoster, Norris leading Alpha 2 with Chols, Kosiria, and Harrington, Bravo leading Ash leading Bravo with Kermit as the 2IC, and Gazog as the marksman, Swola as the medic. You can tell who the leadership is generally by the person that's in the first slash, but also the squad leader doesn't get a grenade launcher, only the 2IC does, and you see it right there. NASA leading Bravo 1 with Tackleberry, Bluck, Kerrigan White, Major Khan, Ivno, and Wombat together. Eric leading Bravo 2 with Banks, Ander, and Arcor. Guy Fury leading Delta. I don't know what role that is, probably a medic role because it doesn't have a GL. So Flux is taking the medic for the group. Artisan, Korvac, and Money. Looks like Artisan and Korvac are being 2 machine gunners. Artisan because we see the symbol, Korvac because we see the gun. And then Kane and Legal Action, I'm assuming, are 2 other machine gunners. But looks like they're taking all 3 Humvees. And they're just going to be the heavy weapons guys moving around and being quick. So that is nice to see. But otherwise, Green 4, skipping over to them, are going to be up here with quite a lot to work with in terms of assets. All right, let's go ahead and look at the roster for them. Green 4, their uniforms are going to be the modern Altis Army Digital Lizard Camouflage by Maz. Loadout's going to be G3s or M4A1s. G3A3, they are 7.62x51 NATO battle rifles, so that should be interesting. 7.62 advantage. Otherwise, auto riflemen for Alpha Bravo Charlie are going to have the M249. Machine gunners Delta's going to have the MG3. Nothing on crew served weapons. I skipped a few things, sorry. Single shot disposable weapon will be the M136, then crew and Navy get the choice of the MP7 or the M4A1. So with that, their assets include the following. We have an Mi-8, we've got a Praga transport, 2 Ural transports, a Volga transport car, we have a sedan. It's a regular civilian transport, a VW Golf car, 2 HMG Humvees. What? Your tails what? Oh, so they actually sent them after 7 months? Wow. They're actually there. They might make it on time. All right. Might make it on time. All right, I'll get to that side story in a second. But 2 HMG Land Rovers. One of them also has a PKT on the front. 2 BRDMs with KPTV turrets, so it's got 14.5 millimeter and 7.62 millimeter. 2 transport UAZs, and then a single gas truck. Basically like a civilian-based force.
Oh no, Depso even said
in which case you'll have to deal with having a G3 for this.
Malin.
Looks like people do not like having the G3, but anyway. Vagrant's going to be commanding. He is the most seasoned commander in FNF, in my opinion, so we'll see how he does. Rufy is going to be his 2IC. Kabubi Face being Alpha lead. Vegeta being the medic. Steve being the marksman for Alpha. They got a PSG-1. Interesting. Waldo being Alpha 1's lead with Otto Visky, Fonz, Wise, Cooper, and Yano under him. No Alpha 2. We skip right to Bravo. Bravo's being led by Polish Pepe with Dewadox, Depso, or Dewak. Dizwak, that's it. Depso, Deska Keeper, Timek, SZ Shemadagoda, Leziak, Uru, and Audi. Pro Hunter leading Char with Rodrigue, Frank, Thompson, Skada, Crazy, Cameron, Aim the Balls, Gogu, and Mikadum. Charlie 2 being led by Nerden with Andrewy on the extra group there. It's kind of funny, their grenade weaponry, or grenadier weapons are the actual Altis weapons from Vanilla with the grenade launcher, but I digress. Delta being led by Flying Finn with Azariah as the 2IC, Puma being the medic, Yanni Finn leading Delta 1 with Nemesis, Nimia, Nafs, and Purton under him, and Mackenzie leading Delta 2 with Cullis, Dobbs, Whiplash, and Twins under him, and then Hotel, which is going to be the Mi-8 crew, is going to be Pearson, Alexander. Don't know why they need 2 people to fly that floating cow, but they need 2 people to fly it. Anyway, I'm going to look down over here, because this is another AO that they can start in, but there's no vehicles down here except for these 2, so looks like most of them are probably going to stay up there so I can drive down. Sector 1 for Blue 4 is down in the town of Dorde. That's going to be pretty much in the center of the town here. And then you got sectors 2 and 3 in the town of La Trinité. One around the church area and another around this one spot here. All right. I'm going to be honest, this is the type of AO where, with Slushy commanding, what she should do is have Delta, who have the M2 Humvees, just rush, rush, rush. Send them up the road and rush to try to intercept Green 4 coming in. And after they literally get up to their spawn point, just come back down and just, you know, patrol around vehicle site wise, because keeping them static in an urban scenario isn't really going to help them, because 50 cal vehicles are best locking down open areas. But regardless with that, the rest, I mean, Blue 4... there's just not really any good ways to hold this town, admittedly, with the amount of forces they have. They just have to focus on internal perimeters, holding the sectors themselves, and hoping for the best. Because it's just a massive town, you know what I mean? Granted, they might be able to come down here and hold this entire town on their own, but... I mean, there's just so many ways that the attackers can come down on it, so it's not really worth holding it. And at least by holding these two objectives up here, they can, you know, not lose one immediately like they lose one down to the south. But even so, I also think there should be no units starting in Sector 1 if they can help it, because that's just going to pull forces away from Sector 2. Really, this is just going to be reliant on sending the Humvees out to try to intercept Green 4 coming in. And then otherwise, just having the Humvees go to various areas and try to lock down all the open fields that they can. And just kind of hoping for the best and hoping that their CQC is up to snuff. Green 4, meanwhile, their best bet would be to do a convoy with the front vehicle and the rear vehicle being two of the KPTV VIX or the Land Rover VIX. So they have that security. MI8 could be boarded. They could land forces up here and try pushing in from a different area. But that's also really risky, because what if they have an M2 Humvee up there? I don't think using the MI8 is worth it at all. You shouldn't use it for recon either, because... how would I put it? It's just really easy for it to be shot down. You know what I mean? Like, just a few 50 cal shots and that thing's engine's going to be off. So, you could argue it's used as recon, but I'm going to be honest... with the convoy like that and the assets they're fighting, they just need the KPTVs and the Land Rovers on point, and they should be fine. That's all I got. So to the side story, Bloodwing ordered some stuff for cosplay for a convention, which is not this weekend, but next weekend, which is why I'll be gone Thursday evening to Saturday, or excuse me, Sunday afternoon. She ordered them 7 months ago, and the person that made them did it last minute. And apparently there was like a cyber attack on the mailing system in the UK. So it looked like she wasn't going to get them, but thankfully they're apparently stateside now up in New York, so she might actually get them in time. Because at that point, it's Friday, right? And if they're in New York, it's probably going to take 3 business days for them to get down here, which would be Wednesday or maybe Thursday. So she's happy about that, but yeah, if you're selling stuff, don't wait last minute to get it, because if last minute issues happen, you might be SOL. That's the lesson there. Looks like Green 4 is going to mount a large amount of forces into the MI8. I don't agree with that, because all you're going to have is forces splitting. What they should be doing is, if they really wanted to be cautious, either, you know, drive all the way around the MSR, dismount down here. You can use this hill to overwatch and get your forces through the forested area right here. And then once you have a foothold, you can then have forces remount in the VIX and drive right up and join the force in the main assault. All they're going to be doing is splitting their forces to attack in multiple different directions. Granted, that might work out if the defenders just completely space their forces out, but that's unlikely. Just hold internal defenses around sectors 2 and 3. Nothing being put down on bait. What they could have done, and this might violate the Lone Wolf statute, but have a single demo specialist. This is why setting a Vanguard force can be helpful sometimes. If you have a fire team down here with 1 explosive specialist, why are 4 explosive charges or 2 explosive satchels to the sector? Yeah. That's going to kill a lot of people. Anyway, round has begun. Green 4 are going to do the massive wide angle push, which is why they're loading in the MI8, because the MI8 is probably going to land somewhere over here instead. And possibly even land down here and dismount just to push units around. So we'll just have to see how all that goes. We'll just have to see where that helicopter decides to go. I'm just really worried that an M2 Humvee is going to intercept it. Interestingly enough, Slushy's not going to have Pepega commit to early charges here. Instead, they're just spacing out the 50 cal vehicles to be around various different areas. But I see two. Okay, no. So some of them are being kept into the town. I don't agree with them being held here, but I think it's held here. Look at where the sandbags are to literally hold against that hilltop. This I do agree with. As long as they're just not being kept in the town to fight in the town, that's a waste of the asset. They should be maximizing these open fields or being sent to try to counterattack convoys. MI8's not moving because it's trying to do reconnaissance. So did they actually load it with... Yes, they did. They loaded it with the entirety of Delta. Very risky. Still gaining altitude while it's getting that reconnaissance, which shows me that they're either going to do one of two things. They're either getting the altitude to watch recon and they're going to do a dive around and then dismount, or they're doing a lay low. Because a helicopter can't do a halo jump because halos involve being 10 clicks in the air. A lay low is when you're only a few kilometers in the air. So they might have everyone in there with parachutes and they might do a lay low insert, which would be kind of cool. Admittedly. But it's a little risky. We'll see where they decide to dismount. I don't think they have enough parachutes in there for everyone in there, but I could be wrong. It might be 16 total.
Yeah, that's the engagement area. I'll be back. I'm gonna phone.
I'm taking off my sight.
No,
Roger. Put it in my backpack. Put it in my backpack.
Lay low stands for low altitude, low insert. Halo is high altitude, low. Not insert, idiot. Opening. Low altitude, low opening. That's because it's an O, not an I. I'm an idiot.
I appreciate you. I do. I really appreciate you. I just don't appreciate fucking attitude flux.
So I had a miscommunication there.
If you see anything, just bring it up the chain. I'm gonna slowly coax Command to believing my idea that I'm about to tell him is his idea.
What? Well, if you're not seeing any movement over there, it's clear that they're going to be flanking around the northern side.
FNF. Sad I cannot join in any longer. Well, anyway, Liru, keep up the great job you're doing.
This is Delta.
Thanks for the 32-month resub.
You mentioned it earlier,
Hope
but
you keep enjoying the operations.
Delta was thinking of confirming the idea of going to Hill 165 and Hill 164, so then we could be close to the Delta fallback and still be present in order to shoot people.
So I think he's saying to Command for permission to go over here, but he's already over here. So what's going to be really funny is this is all different because they're going to have to completely reposition in a second. Aircraft's not flying over.
And this is Delta again. I believe you're stepped on.
Oh, really?
Did you say that we were able to traverse between Hill 164 and Hill 165 in order to look at the southwest?
Interesting, Ados. I didn't know that. So an underwater insert is technically a halo by that description.
Alright, boys. Alright, boys. It worked. even thought it was his own good idea. So you can go between 165 and 164 now. We're free to move a little bit, a little tiny bit.
Slushy's gonna watch this back and be very mad at you. But
I'm just
anyway,
letting you know. I'm just making sure that everyone's understanding. Do we have a British version? That's
'Cause
like a British vehicle, isn't it?
the really funny thing is that these guys are completely out of position. The way Green Force setting up their attack, they're gonna be completely out of position. Helicopter circling around. You know, these two Blue 4 in the open here getting shot at.
Smoke me, smoke me. Yeah, I'm gonna need to medic this up.
Alright. So now we just have to see how everything adjusts. Because Papega's not the type of group to stay to the south so far. Otherwise, we have this Overwatch team. Interesting. So a Land Rover blew up because they crashed into each other. And Timek is dead. Deska Keeper got shot up there, so that's unfortunate.
Nie. Oczywiście. No dobra, nieważne.
Ale mówiłem od początku, że nas tak złapią.
Czekajcie, a jeden tu jedzie.
O.
Zlokalizujmy skąd nas zwał.
Alright.
This is Bravo. We're in the danger to be engaged by marksman. Nie widziałem. That's okay. Copy that. We're gonna try going north. Panowie, jest chyba jeden?
How high is that vehicle? So this being static here just tells me they're waiting in reserve to see if they can pull a lot of Blue 4 out to form a defense line here so they can then land and then hit the sectors on the rear. So we'll see how that all goes. Still got some marksmen up here on Blue 4 trying to lock things down.
Eyes on.
Yeah, it hit the tree right next to his head. Alright. So you got a picket force right here trying to hold. I need to smoke again and run. I mean, I gotta commend who's command here. Vagrant is doing another bait and switch to let Scandy then get in close. So he's playing this out masterfully. It's just how Slushy gonna counter it. Because it looks like we're starting to see everyone remounting in the Vic. So they're gonna be pulled down. But let's see, Blue 4, they haven't taken a single KIA yet. Green 4 have taken 2 or 3. And by now with this Overwatch position, they're just watching everything else move up, which granted they only see, you know, those units moving up here, but they're getting a good idea that a lot of stuff's coming. So I'm actually kind of surprised we're not seeing the M2 vehicles trying to come around and do some elaborate flanks, but might just be because they're tied to certain units and whatnot. Helicopter will probably not make another play for another 10 to 15 minutes because what Vagrant's trying to do is pull all he can to form an all-in defensive line on the north. But if Slushy was paying attention to the last round, Slushy's going to know that that's not a good idea because there might be another force waiting on the side to, you know, come in and immediately sweep the objectives themselves. Major Con, that GL going way over, unfortunately. But they're pulling off of that hill because they know they can lock it down with the 50 cal. Here's what concerns me. Green 4 hasn't sent anything to go hit Sector 1. So Blue 4 still has the option to run down and hold Sector 1 last second if everything goes to shit. Bluff just got killed. That, I think, was Blue 4's first KIA. He got a kill, though. And that was... I guess that was Deska Keeper earlier on. Yuru's unconscious. But I don't see any other skulls. Yes, there are Femises with grenade launchers, believe it or not. So you got this one trench line right here. You got a Green 4 team lead coming up. Wow. Couldn't get the headshot. Notice all of his limbs are hit and bleeding, not his body. So all of those shots went to the freaking limbs. I would be mad if I was him. That should have been an easy kill, but look at this. A rear-placed 249 gunner tries to open up with a grenade. Doesn't get it close enough because it bounces off a tree. He hurts himself with the grenade. But thankfully, he doesn't give away his position. We see some blood on the ground, too, because of what happened. So now, he's trying to get some shots out. And he just gets annihilated as soon as he opens up. Should have been a bit more patient with that. Helicopter's making its approach. They're going for a landing right here, but that's going to take a while for them to get into position, which might give Blue 4 enough time to counter and then pull back, because Green 4 is also moving in. So it looks like Blue 4 is actually retaking that hill. Now you got an M2 Humvee that's moved up, and it's starting to suppress the Green 4 advance. All right, Banks, grenade, grenade. He gets a drop. Tries to go for a second. Smart pullback. Get your kill and run. Almost gets blue on blue. And we got the wounded being carried over. That's Yuru still down. Delta's deployed over here. They're going to be ineffective, actually, because by the time they're trying to set up, Green 4 is going to get their foot in the door. There's the helicopter landing. RNGesus would have been able to immediately call that up because of the long range. So now Blue 4 has information of a two-pronged attack right now. And what's weird is the two BRDMs are staying in reserve. They would be a lot better on Overwatch positions on this hill, but they're just being kept on the rear and being completely ineffective. Even if they were put over here to help the helicopter landing, they could go up on this hill and still get some somewhat decent Overwatch, but at least they can stop anything from pushing out to counter the helicopter push. So those assets are being a little ineffective at the moment. But this is just to open up a new attack angle, because these guys are getting right on top of where the sector is going to be anyway, so by the time Blue 4 is defending the sectors themselves, these guys wouldn't be in any position to kind of, you know, sneak in and do anything. Do you have a machine gun in the rear? Because I noticed his back is open. I don't see anyone back there, though, so it might be his co-pilot will turn into a rudimentary chopper gunner. Blue 4 taking casualties up here. M2 with a good flank. KPTVs are pulling back as well because the other M2's firing at them. Yeah, they're just completely ineffective in the low ground. Blue 4 have too much stuff up here. They need to load up and move back into the town because they were trying to flank whatever was over here, but it's already moved into the forested area. Casualties starting to mount on green 4, but there's also a few on blue 4. But so far, I think blue 4 is maintaining this attack. We see that the southern force is now going over here to stop this force from coming in. But it's kind of weird. They're actually going southwest. I guess to maybe then go over here and then utilize the buildings going down instead of using the forest and then the vineyard to then go right on top of the objective. I don't know. It's a weird pathfinding call in my opinion, but they're trying to make it work. Banks here on kill 3. Isn't able to go past kill 3, does a lot of damage, but he is also flanked because he was pinned by being bipoded. Looking at the infantry right here, I think this infantry might be able to stop it, but we need to see these forces fold down. This is still a good marksman position for Kiri, but he is on no kills, and this is kind of far, so I think he'd be better suited in the AO, because at that point his other job of reconnaissance isn't necessarily needed. What worries me is you got a defensive line right here and another defensive line there. Explosive charge goes off. Not sure how many kills it got. Good use of a trap, though. And now the 50 cal Vic is firing at the helicopter for some silly reason. These guys need to fold into the town. They keep getting distracted. You got Bravo 2 and the other Humvee marauding around. These guys maneuvering around. Don't know if they're going to go all the way around to try to hit Sector 1. Or if they're going to try to come around back here and get on the hill and flank whatever's up there. But again, those BRDMs are completely being misplayed. Frag out. Gets a brilliant bounce. That's going to kill him. Brilliant bounce. I'm really impressed that Schult isn't looking at the source of the gunshots. He's just chilling there. Not doing anything. So this defense line's getting smashed. Because of a refusal to commit. Blue 4 folding their forces in. Green 4 starting to descend as Blue 4 is kind of in a lot of weird areas here. Korvac on his own. No, I honestly think he is AFK, because this is silly. Yeah, Gary's just not lining up those shots. Oh, you can hear the machine gun reverberating through my microphone. See, what's bugging me is a lot of Blue 4 has been turned around to engage this force. They're going to defeat that, but this force is probably going to break through. I'm really hoping Schult wakes back up, but I'm just going to assume he's out of action here. Oh, yeah, now these guys are screwed. He died. That's brilliant. Yeah, KPTVs are gonna run them down. That's brilliant. You don't even hear it. Yeah. 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 Another dead guy. That's brilliant. So Green 4 now overwatching that position. That could sort them well on firing at rooftops, so it's going to be a bit of a bitch to PID. Alley-oop. Ran out of ammo, doesn't get his gun up in time, and gets absolutely annihilated. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Grenade. Yeah, so Scandy's persevering because it's freaking Scandy. I think Green 4 was able to get their number advantage back. Because again, I don't know why we're seeing Blue 4 crossing through open fields to counterattack an attacking force. It's silly. It's very silly. Then again, it's Delta, so that's Papega logic, but Alpha 1 too. Oh, man. Light machine gun wins. Schultz back up. So, again, all right, Schultz can do something really cool here. I doubt that's going to happen, but hey, we can try. MI8 takes a hit. That Green 4 force is going to get nullified in a second because of all the forces coming around to attack it. And I think the job was to pull forces out of the town so this force could break through, but it's not breaking through quick enough. But look at the remaining Blue 4 defenders here. So if this force then turns around, it could still join in on the defense line, maybe be able to capture Sector 2. But Blue 4 still have the Humvees, so they can quickly transport teams down to Sector 1 to hold that. What are you doing? Yeah, not gonna be useful. Humvees are driving down to basically provide support at this point. You got one more Green 4 guy up here, Whiplash, with the MG3 being hunted by so much infantry, but that's pulled so many bodies away. So now this position's getting hit pretty hard. That was a Blue 4 guy that just got one tap by possibly grenade shrapnel. I got Swole on his own up here. KPTV still doing Overwatch, but again, KPTVs were kind of useless. Yes, they're still just shooting at the damn helicopter. Literally just being bait. There goes one Humvee. Sector 2 being captured. I would be surprised if these guys just landed and took Sector 1. Because you're having to fight for Sector 3 right here. These guys are now going to be charging back. But it's just Blue 4's completely out of position. Everywhere. Sector 2 is going to be taken, but that's going to force Blue 4 to make a decision, either hold Sector 3 or try to rush down to Sector 1, but the helicopter is going to probably just land at Sector 1 and take it. So it forces Blue 4 to hold Sector 3, but Sector 3 is being taken right now because Blue 4 went out of the area. So Sector 2 is captured. Sector 3 lost it and then got it back. And one of them just died. Shy getting tunnel vision and not seeing Autovisky. Shoot him! Shoot him! Thank you! What are you waiting for, dude? That's amazing. Sector 3 is about to be captured, and then Pierce is landing to take... This is over. Grenade gets him. Sector 3, there's Sector 1. Blue 4 trying to rush in with the Humvee to stop it, but that's only one dude. This is GG. Just because they played to the objective and were able to pull too many Blue 4 to go hunting for that one helicopter crew. There goes explosive traps. It wasn't effective, though. There goes Sector 3. Sector 1 still has the one guy in there. And that's GG. Timer got reset. Blue 4, I don't think has any vehicles left to load up and try to push down there. It's over. It's over. That was brilliant. The one mistake was too many forces went against the helicopter crew, pulled away from the main threat, and they lost it. PK, yeah, those BRDMs were super useless, but oh man. All right, that's GG, everyone. That is going to be a Green 4 victory. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. We'll be back in 2 hours. Otherwise, cheers, and have a good one.